When Sipekne'katik First Nation launched their treaty fishery last fall, non-Indigenous fishers called it illegal, and racist violence and hate speech resulted. Jason Marr remembers being surrounded in a lobster pound by an angry mob who threatened to set the building on fire. Days later, the building burnt to the ground.
First it was just protests here and there, the odd protests, and a bunch of locals would be angry and upset, and now it's got to the point where it's so big that they think that they control it and own it all.
Cheryl Maloney of Sipekne'katik First Nation is a fisher and recalls the violence.
You know, for those days and weeks following that launch, I couldn't believe that Canada was allowing this to happen, and Canada was making this happen.
The United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination sent a letter dated April 30th to Canada's permanent representative to the UN in Geneva, Switzerland. It's calling on Ottawa to investigate the acts of violence, lack of response, and what Canada plans to do to respect Mi'kmaq fishing rights. Lawyer Pam Palmer of Eel River Bar First Nation is one of the authors of the submission to the UN committee. She says outside help is needed to protect human rights in Canada.
For example, removing sex discrimination in the Indian Act or getting a national inquiry into murdered and missing, that all came from pressure from the international human rights community, especially at the United Nations. And that was really our intention. To make sure that the world knows, to hold Canada to account.
Meanwhile, last Friday, the Department of Fisheries removed the treaty truck house from Saulnieville Wharf. It was placed there under the Peace and Friendship Treaties, which state the Mi'kmaq can place a structure on land to trade or sell goods. Jolene Marr of Sipekne'katik First Nation is grateful the UN has taken an interest.
I've been there since the beginning. And I've watched with my own two eyes the hatred towards my people from DFO officers to RCMP officers to the general public of non-First Nations descent.
Marr has hired a lawyer and hopes to return the truck house to the wharf. In the meantime, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans responded to the UN letter in a statement emailed to APTN. DFO Minister Bernadette Jordan's office said it's reviewing the letter from the UN committee carefully and will respond to the inquiry directly. Angel Moore, APTN National News, Sipekne'katik, known as Halifax.